My 7-year-old nephew showed me with pride the telephone he had just made from a string and 2 tin cans. I pulled out my iPhone and said, "That's nice, but look at what kids your age make in China." I went to a costume party dressed as an egg and I met a girl dressed as a chicken. I said to her, "So are we going to find out, or what?" A friend just told me that my daughter and my wife look like twins. I said, "Well, they were separated at birth." What's the difference between a politician and a flying pig? The letter F. If you put a picture of yourself in a locket, you could say that you are independent. What do you say to your sister when she's crying? Are you having a crisis? A man walks into a bar and orders 10 shots of tequila. The bartender asks if he is celebrating. The man says, "Yeah, my first blowjob." The bartender says, "Sweet, I'll buy you one more." The man says, "No thanks, if 10 won't get the taste out of my mouth, I don't think 11 will either." A nun teaching religion was speaking to her class one morning and she asked the question, "When you die and go to heaven, which part of your body goes first?" Susie raised her hand and said, "I think it's your hands." "Why do you think it's your hands, Susie?" said the nun. Susie replied, "Because when you pray, you hold your hands together in front of you and God just takes your hands first." What a wonderful answer. The nun said. Little Johnny raised his hand and said, "Sister, I think it's your legs." The nun looked at him with the strangest look on her face. "Now little Johnny, why would you think it would be your legs?" Little Johnny said, "Well, I walked into Mommy and Daddy's bedroom the other night. Mommy had her legs straight up in the air, and she was saying, 'Oh God, I'm coming.' If Dad hadn't pinned her down, we'd have lost her. Puns makes me numb. Math puns make me number." Why did the cookie go to the doctor? He was feeling crummy. Ancient Greeks invented sex. Romans made it more fun by adding women to it. Why do they put bells on cows? Because their horns don't work. Tell you what I know about dwarfs. Very little. There's only one type of person who never gets angry. A nomad. My granddad was responsible for 28 downed German planes in WW2. Still to this day holds the record as the worst mechanic the Luftwaffe ever had. Who slept with my wife? A man walks into a bar with a gun, cocks it and asks, "Who here slept with my wife?" A voice from the back replied, "You don't have enough bullets." A cheap zoo lost its gorilla and instead of paying for one they hired a guy in a gorilla costume to act like a gorilla. When the people came to see him, he pounded his chest and moved like a gorilla. Right under him was a lion's cage. While he was running around chanting like a gorilla, the bottom of his cage broke and he fell into the lion's cage. He started screaming and yelling, help me," as the lion got closer. The lion ran to him and said, "Shut up. You are going to get us both fired." My wife just said, "I just don't understand the science behind human cloning." I said, "That makes 2 of us. Today is my wife and I's anniversary." I wanted to have sex, but she wanted to go to Outback Steakhouse. Her parents suggested that we go to church and renew our vows. We compromised. So we did it out back by the church. I used to work in a recycling plant, crushing cans. But I had to quit, it was so depressing.